Hi, this is Naomi Bennett. I wanted to do an update since we've had so many important world events that have happened in the past week, which is Ukraine. Ukraine and now military action by Putin, who becomes the man of the hour. So now we have a definite direction we want to go for this coming March and April, and we're going to be looking at his chart because it's so important to the coming world events. So here's a portrait of Putin, who is now becoming a dominant figure in our news because of the collapse of Ukraine and the rebellion there. He is a man of power and strength. Forbes just recognized him as the most powerful man in the world. He's a former KGB head of state, and now he's in his third term as president of Russia, and this is a man that's not to be intimidated by the United States or the world, and he's going to stand up for what he thinks are his rights and the requirements of Russia for their economic health, and we're going to be seeing him butting heads with the world powers ahead of us for the next 4 months. This is a chart of the oil and gas pipelines that go from Russia to Europe. And this is the real economic reasons why Putin's going to defend his rights for Ukraine and all the other satellite countries. Europe depends on 40% of their oil from Russia, and this represents the big economic piece for Putin. He is not going to let this go, and he will fight for his rights to control these pipelines and the control of these satellite countries out of Russia to Western Europe. So it's always about the money, and it's not just about saving the Russian people in Ukraine. That's just a front. This is about economic survival for him. All right, now we have a graph of Vladimir Putin with the current transits that are occurring in the next couple of months. We've talked about this a little bit before on the first quarter of 2014 and on the year's analysis that's already been posted on YouTube. But now that we've had a major event, this looks like this is going to be one of the dominating aspects. Although I would also say that we are having more nuclear events in the news because Fukushima is being talked about with the water leaks they have. And now we just had in February and announced in the paper last week 13 workers in New Mexico that have had exposure to radiation, and that there are nuclear wastewater tanks in Washington that are leaking. So expect more of that in the news besides this, because can be a multifaceted aspects with many things coming down. But we had a panic in the Wall Street yesterday, and now their fears have been allayed because Putin said he's not cutting off oil to Europe. So now the markets have calmed today. But this is only the first of the salvos. It's going to continue because he is going to defend his country and his rights to the Ukraine people historically in Russia, because it's all about oil and money and keeping economic stability. So to allow any of these satellite countries to leave Mother Russia, it would be an economic disaster for Russia. So he is going to defend this to the nth degree. He's a secretive person. He will never tell you what he's actually doing. And so I'm sure that they have KGB Secret Service people all over Ukraine right now, trying in Kiev, trying to stop this. They said today that they're already sending a battleship that's going through the Black Sea to the Ukraine area. So this is only the beginning of the salvos, and is going to be a continuing drama. If you think this is going to be settled or go away quickly, it's not. This is the beginning of some of these difficult aspects that are really going to come to an apex in April, and we will have to wait to see what the other moves are going to be between the US and Western Europe and the other developed nations. But Putin has the territory and the power and the might to pull this off. I will begin to do a second quarter update at the end of March, and if there are any other very significant news events, then I will do a posting prior to that.